How important, how significant is it to have so many diplomats pushing on this issue?
I think fundamentally Israel's narrative is coming down like a stack of cards, a house of cards, I should say. You know, what are the fundamental identifiers of a democracy? It's the separation of powers. So you've got the judicial, the executive, and the legislative functions. And that separation of powers is meant to prevent states from overreach, right? So if we're going to look at Israel, it's not just international law that we're considering here. Even under Israeli law, these settlements are illegal. But that doesn't seem to faze the government at all. Like, this is not a case of, we're not just talking about random settlers here, by the way. We're also, you know, we have to be very specific. There are cabinet ministers attending these events, you know, the events of reopening old settlements that had been closed down for like 2 decades or so. The Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu is also encouraging these reopening of settlements. And none of them can be held to account by the judiciary, despite judicial challenges raised by Palestinians who are going to be obviously affected by more land grabs and illegal Jewish settlement on their land. So it's an unattractive argument if you think about it, because they keep saying that they are the only democracy in the Middle East. And yet they're undermining this whole idea of separation of powers. They're undermining international law. They're undermining their own domestic law for the sake of pushing a Jewish supremacist agenda. And this is going to have a fundamental impact, not only on how they are perceived regionally, but it is also going to have an impact on how they're perceived internationally. And people are getting sick and tired of it, which is why you're seeing more and more people, especially in light of 7th of October, the aftermath in the Gaza genocide. Everyone's getting sick and tired of watching this continuous expansionism based on some apparent land title deed that comes from the Bible 3,000 years ago or so, or 2,000 years.
Netanyahu's